Alrighty, what's up, guys? What is up? I hope you guys can hear me alright, but I'm trying not to be too loud because it's a little bit late. We got children sleeping, so. Anywho's, I wanted to do playing card reading, right? Like a tarot card reading. But since I'm practicing, I thought I'd put a disclaimer in the title. Practicing playing card reading, because I'm still not all the way there yet. Not all the way, not all the way. But yeah, this is a general reading, guys. You know what I mean? So it's meant to reach the right people at the right time, no matter when you are seeing this video. Okay, so keep that in mind and always take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because you are your own spiritual guru, bitch. Okay, and nobody can tell you. So yes, for our collective, we have the Five of Diamonds, right? Now, if you're into tarot, this is the equivalent of the Five of Pentacles, if I'm not mistaken, right? So when it comes to five itself, five is tied to our likes and our dislikes, our reactions. It's almost like, because it's a feminine number, it's tied to feminine energies, such as like the moon, you know what I mean? So it'll be tied to our emotions in some way, shape, or form. In this case, it's our likes and our dislikes. Right? And then when it comes to pentacles, right, this is talking about going through things, going through situations, people, places, or things who may teach you about your likes or your dislikes. And depending on where you're at this current stage of your journey, you could be experiencing a lot of dislikes, or you could be experiencing a lot of likes. You know what I mean? So this is the energy you guys are in. You guys are going through the implications or the expressions or the experiences of your manifestations, right, at this point, and what you've been accumulating based on what you've been paying attention to, aka what you've been giving your awareness to or your light to, right, or what you like. So these words have a kind of correlation there a little bit because they both have that lie, prefix or whatever the fuck it's called. Now, in traditional tarot, that would be read as trials and tribulation. You know what I mean? That would be read as struggles or hardship, all those kind of stuff, which definitely can be the case, but it also depends on the individual spirit, what that experience is going to be. All right, we've got two jump out. So we have the 10 of clubs, which is the equivalent to the 10 of wands in the minor arcana, right? And then we also have the 7 of diamonds, which is the 7 of pentacles. Right, so 10 of wands, 10 is like one with added space, like added accumulation to it, you know what I mean? So one by itself is a, masculine energy, like tied to the first house, your personal affairs, the things you're personally into, and all that kind of stuff. So you are adding the 1 on to the 0 with the ones. This is talking about accumulating or gathering a whole bunch of experiences, a whole bunch of visions, a whole bunch of expressions for yourself, and then adding on to that. You know what I mean? So it can play out negatively as well with that 10th house energy, you ending up having an expectation for yourself based on the experiences or the things that you've gone through. You've set this expectation or this vision for yourself, which may not necessarily be something that you can uphold as an individual. So when it comes to that 10 of wands or 10 of clubs energy. That's what you guys will be experiencing during this time, you know. And we also have the 7 of diamonds. So this is talking about how, like, making it sense or being practical about achieving your goals, your life, and stuff like that. Right? So, making these things make sense, putting a clear line of steps in place for you to be able to achieve your goals, and then you'll be able to make them a lot more reachable. So that's what the 7 of Pentacles talks about. And 7 itself is like the number of being in the power of the creator, right? So it's talking about you being able to tap into your own creatorship and to be able to manifest what you actually want to see in the world. Whether that's, involving your creative gifts or whatever. That 7 of diamonds is there to, push us, or to show us how to be more realistic about those things. How does it actually relate, like with that 7th house Libra energy? How does it actually relate to the earth and the surroundings that we're in, and how does that actually tie in to make a better circumstance for everyone? Oh my gosh, bitch. You guys got the freaking 10 of clubs again, what the fuck? So that's that double emphasis energy on that reading. So you guys have got like a lot that you may be putting on your plate or accumulating a little bit too much. That's that repetitive energy. You know what I mean? So depending how that resonates with you, with how I was describing the 10 of clubs, that's going to show you which side of the spectrum you're on. So if you're experiencing a whole bunch of good, positive shit, beneficial shit, or negative shit, and you're having too many expectations and too many visions, you know what I mean, that are not in alignment with your true state of being. So when it comes to 3 of clubs here, that's the equivalent of the 3 of wands. Okay, so 3 itself is the energy of being able to accumulate, create an atmosphere, an environment, or a body for yourself to exist within, right? And so when it comes to this being the wands, this is talking about creating an environment or an atmosphere or a body or a vessel for your visions, your expressions, your passion to be expressed, or to be like bread, bread, breathed life into. You know what I mean? So this is talking about, what kind of visions, what kind of imaginations, what kind of fires, passions are you actually creating for yourself? Taking it back to that 3, taking it back to that 1. Okay, well, like that first point reference, because 3 is actually the real one, right? So it's taking back to that first point of reference to be able to see, okay, what steps led you into this actual point that you're at now, which you may feel like have no correlation to those original first steps. However, they actually are what started and kicked off the chain of events which led to those. Alright, sorry guys, my throat's freaking itchy or something. Alrighty. So we have the Ace of Hearts. Alright, so with the Ace of Hearts, The Ace of Hearts is talking about the Ace of Cups in the Minor Arcana. Okay, so with the Ace of Cups, this is talking about initiating, creating, or giving birth to a new emotion, an individual emotion, right? A new reaction, a new feeling, whatever that may be for you. You know what I mean? So it's talking about birthing a new reaction, birthing a new internal space for yourself, right? Jumping into that new space so that you can renew yourself and wash those old waters away from yourself so that you can have more clarity and more peace of mind, all right? So it's giving like resisting transformation in a way. So embracing that transformation for yourself and knowing that everything's going to turn out the way that it should. But it's, if you're resisting, and then you're also resisting a part of yourself that naturally would eventually unfold if you had just let it. You know what I mean? So that's how we can tell that it's a natural process, because it's not something that you have to try to do. You have to try to resist it. So that's like by default, like less on a natural state, you know? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you guys for the next video. I quite enjoyed it. Um, yeah, let me know if you guys want me to break down a little bit more. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Like if you know Maya Arcana, you'll be able to break down these little cards right here. All right. Peace.